Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to be ranting about how much I f***ing hate plugins at the moment. As anyone who has been following this channel knows, or if you're new to this channel, please go and check out some other videos. I have a lovely little hybrid setup at home that I've been using for about the last 6 or 7 months. I've been coming away from mixing in the DAW. I mean, some of it gets done in the DAW, but I've been putting a lot of it out to Outboard and sort of recoloring the signals and bringing them back in with all that lovely analog saturation and compression and whatever, and reprinting signals all over the place. It's been a wonderful experience, and I'm currently on tour. I'm in a hotel room, and I thought to keep content going on my channel, I'd mix a song that I've already done with my hybrid setup. I'd mix it using plugins and I'd see whether it gets anywhere close. And the first thing I thought I'd do is I'd get some kind of plugin on there that gives me that analog saturation that I'm looking for. And I went through so many fucking plugins and they're all fucking useless. And I just want to make this clear. This channel is a bit like a diary to me. And I'm just not impressed with any of them after kind of stepping outside the DAW for that kind of stuff. Don't get me wrong, there's plenty of stuff that the DAW and plugins do great, but stepping outside the DAW for all that saturation and sort of analog warmth and trying to recreate that again, sitting here with my headphones on, loading up all manner of plugins to be able to do it, and they all fucking suck. And it's really pissing me off. I'm sitting here wanting to do something and I'm just not getting the sounds that I have been getting at home with my lovely hybrid setup. And for that reason, I don't think I'm going to do DAW mixing. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some exceptions, okay? This is where the whole subject gets silly, because I did find some plugins that did the kind of thing that I was looking for, that first stage kind of saturation in the chain. I've got so many fucking plugins, and most of them are useless. I did find a few that were quite nice, but I wasn't actually using them in the way that I was meant to be using them. So, shout out to a few notable exceptions. Number one is the compressor by IK Multimedia, right? If you turn the compressor off on that, I mean, it's a great compressor, so if you want to use it as a compressor, go ahead. But if you turn the compressor off on that and just use Distortion 2 or Distortion 3 just to use as a saturator plugin, it actually does something pretty nice. And also IK Multimedia's Saturator X is sounding really nice as well. I can put that on, I do get some saturation, but they're fairly processor intensive plugins. And my rant is not about the fact that I can't get a saturator, it's about the fact that there's all these fucking channel strip plugins, okay, that purport to have all of that analog warmth, whether it be the Plugin Alliance, the Brainworks SSL stuff, or whether it's the Waves Mix Hub or EV2, or, so many of them, even the IK British channel. I mean, just none of them. If you just kind of don't touch the EQs and you don't touch the compression, you just put them on to try and get that lovely kind of channel saturation, that natural saturation that you get from using a real console. And all of them suck, without doubt. Every single fucking one of them sucks. And it's something that I used to, I mean, these things are things that I used to use all the time before I kind of stepped outside the box for the saturation side of stuff. And now going back to it, they're just so lame. And it's kind of depressing me. So that's why I just switched on the camera and thought, I'm just going to rant about it. And you know what actually sounded the best for me? When I finally gave up on trying to find some sort of channel strip type plugins that would do the saturation that I was looking for. You know what sounded the best for me? Going onto the Cubase, the built-in Cubase channel strip, and just putting on their tape saturation and turning the drive up. And that sounded pretty great. Now, technically, I suppose that's a plugin by Steinberg, but it's just built into Cubase there on the channel strip. Maybe the next DAW mix video that I wanted to make shouldn't be trying to mix with all my plugins and trying to recreate my sounds that I'm getting outside the box. Maybe it should be just doing a mix with bog standard stock Cubase plugins and saying, actually, I'm fucking wasting my time buying all these fucking plugins and expecting them to sound like things that there are plugins I absolutely love, and I've A/B'd them against my hardware, but I'm not talking about the compressions or the EQs or, you know, all of that. I've got a million plugins that do that. I'm talking about the thing that I can't get inside the box properly, and that's the saturation, when the best thing that I can find to do that is either a plugin that's really processor intensive, like IK Multimedia's Saturator X, or I'm using a compressor like the compressor and turning the compressor off just to use their kind of saturation. You know, it's fairly pathetic, you know. And then the best one of the lot of them is just the built-in DAW option. I don't know. I'm annoyed by it. I'm kind of sitting here thinking, like, you know, I'm wasting my time even trying to do anything interesting with like analog recreations in plugins at the moment. I'm just having a moment where I'm so disappointed in my fucking plugins, and you know, the ones that I'm paying subscriptions to, I don't know, I get loads of other stuff. I mean, I'm not even talking about the compressors, I'm not talking about the reverbs, I'm not talking about the EQs at the moment, I'm just talking about saturation. If you put on a channel strip plugin, I want it to kind of emulate a channel strip. I want it to give me the distortion that even the Big Six desk does, or the channel strip and my Warm Audio Neve clone, you know, something like that. Even if it gave me like 10% of that, I'd be happy. Another notable one that actually did do an interesting job for me was the IK Multimedia, again, the 73, their kind of 1073 plugin. And if you switch that into mic mode, it does give you a fair amount of saturation, but it gets out of control pretty quickly. You know, it's not, these plugins, they're either too much or there's nothing. You know, it's all this, even the Brainwork stuff. I bought that a while back and I've really never used that. And I wanted it to be, I thought, oh, that's cool. You've got this THD option and you can dial it in and out for all the channels. And I'm sitting there just dialing it up and drums to it. I'm down going, this is pathetic. This is fucking pathetic. Even the Waves NLS channels do more than half of this stuff, right? And I used to use them a fair amount, but most of that's in the EQ. Most of that's in the fact that, you know, Waves NLS is modeling the EQ of the channel as well. And when you remove the EQ factor and you just deal with the saturation, again, it's pathetic. So I don't know. I'm in a hotel room. I'm having a rant. And yeah, this channel is my diary. So yeah, this is a diary entry. Hello. Yeah, I don't even know whether this will be a good video or not. No idea, but I'm just having a rant. So love to you all. Goodbye.